previous session we were learning about the chapter poverty. In that we have learned about what is poverty and who are poor and how poor are identified and what is poverty line and different categories of poverty. In this session we are going to learn about how to count poor, means number of poor in India.
The number of poor in India. If you want to study about the number of poor in India, you can see in this chart here two lines you can find. First one is rural poverty line and this is urban poverty line. This is rural poverty line and this is urban poverty line. ಇದು ಗ್ರಾಮೀಣ ಬಡತನದ ಒಂದು ರೇಖೆ, ಇದು ನಗರ ಬಡತನದ ರೇಖೆ. Here in this line we can find the number of poor in millions: 50 million, 100 million, 150 million, 200 million, 250 million, 300 million and 350 millions. And here you can find the years 1973 to 2012. We are taking in consideration from 1973-74 to 2011-12. According to this chart, number of poor in 1973 to 74, here rural poverty is above the 50 million. Above the 50 million people are poor in rural areas, and when you come to the urban areas, more than 250 million people are poor in urban areas. And in 1983, here also you can find more than 75 million of rural people are poor, and here around 250 million people are poor in urban areas. And in 1993, 94, 2004 and 5, 2009 and 10, 2011 and 12, if you compare all the years, here you can find after 2004 and 5, both rural and urban poverty are declining here. Why? Because after the implementation of poverty alleviation programs, both in rural and urban areas, number of poor are declining here. If you observe this table, here you can find head count ratio. What is head count ratio? When the number of poor is estimated as the proportion of people below poverty line, it is known as head count ratio. This is also called as HCR. In this table, HCR is given in percentage. This line shows rural poverty line and this line shows the urban poverty line. Here from 1973-74 to 2011 and 12 we have taken into consideration. If you observe these two lines, here also you can find decline in the poverty, decline in the head count ratio in percentage. In 1973-74, about 55% of the total population was below poverty line. In 2011-12, it has fallen to 22%. In 1973-74, more than 80% of the poor resides in rural areas, and this situation has not changed even 2011 and 12. This means that more than three-fourths of the poor in India still reside in villages. And in this table, you can observe that population below poverty line in some large states from 1973 to 2012. Here, you can find the name of the states. These all are some large states. They're facing problem of poverty. Here, this dark black color shows poverty in 2011 and 12, and this color shows poverty in the year 1973-74. Here, compared to 1973 and 74, you can find more improvement in Andhra Pradesh. And when you come to this Bihar state, here in 1973-74, poverty is about 62% of total population in Bihar, and in 2011 and 12, poverty is about 34% of the total population in Bihar. And you can observe Gujarat, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal. You can compare the poverty in 1973-74 to 2011-12, how it has changed.
Next one is causes of poverty. Causes of poverty. This causes of poverty is generally related to The institutional and social factors. Institutional and social factors. The poor are deprived of quality education and unable to acquire qualities, unable to acquire skills which fetch better incomes. Also, access to the good healthcare facilities are denied to the poor. Why? Because poor people cannot go to the highly facilitized private hospitals. Why? Because they cannot pay the amount. The poor also victimized by castes, religions, socio-economic discrimination and also religious discriminations. The major causes of poverty are, first one is here social, economic and political equalities. Social, economic and political inequalities. ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ, ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಮತ್ತು ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಅಸಮಾನತೆಗಳು. In the previous chapters, we have studied about the ruling of Britishers in India. India was under the control of Britishers. At that time, they were having ultimate power to take decisions about the country and country's political and economic systems. They destroyed our traditional cottage industries to encourage their modern industries. Our vast natural resources was exported to Britain and European countries. Therefore, India was not able to overcome and compensate the damage done by the British rule. 70% of Indians were involved with the agricultural sector at the time, and British policies sharply increased the taxes on rural agricultural produces. That enables merchants and moneylenders to become large landowners. Under the British India began to export food grains, and as a result, we could not hold any food grains with the country. 26 million people died in famines during 1875 to 1900. Next one is social exclusion. What is social exclusion? Group of people or part of a society is unable to come to the mainstream of the society. ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಬಹಿಷ್ಕಾರ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಬಹಿಷ್ಕಾರ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಹಿಂದುಳಿದ ವರ್ಗದವರು ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ವನವಾಸಿಗಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಕಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸಿಸುವಂಥ ಜನ, ಆದಿವಾಸಿಗಳು, ಅವರು ಈ ಸಮಾಜದ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಹಿನಿಗೆ ಬರುವಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಅಡೆತಡೆಗಳನ್ನು ಅನುಭವಿಸಿ ಸಮಾಜದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಜನರಿಗೂ ಸಿಗುವಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳಾದ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ, ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಹಾಗೂ ಮೂಲಭೂತ ಸೌಕರ್ಯಗಳಿಂದ ಅವರು ವಂಚಿತರಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಕಾರಣದಿಂದ ಅವರು ಬಡವರಾಗೇ ಮುಂದುವರಿತಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿಟ್ರಸಿ, ಇಗ್ನೋರೆನ್ಸ್, ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ವರ್ಡ್ನೆಸ್, inadequacy of social structure, narrow outlook, all are affecting on the quality of the life of the people. They will be always poor. Next one is unemployment, nirudyoga. What is unemployment? A person who is able and wanted to do the job but he is unable to get job is called as unemployment. Unemployment and underemployment are the widespread problem in India. The degree of unemployment is very high among the nation, so that they cannot earn any income. So if they don't have any income, they cannot be able to purchase the minimum needs of their families. Thus, they were in poverty. Next one is indebtedness. Ranabhara, Salada Bara. The people with less income, people who are having less income, they have to take loans to fulfill their basic needs. If they have taken loans from the others, they have to pay the interest for loans. If they are not able to repay the loans in time, they have to pay more interest. And also there is a chance of doubling the loans. It's like a trap. So it is called as debit trap. Even though ಋಣಭಾರವೂ ಕೂಡ ಬಡತನಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಕಾರಣ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆದಾಯ ಹೊಂದಿದ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳ ಎಲ್ಲ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನವೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವರ ಸಾಲವನ್ನು ತೀರಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇದರಿಂದ ಅವರು ತಮ್ಮ ಸ್ವ ಉಪಯೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಏನನ್ನು ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಅವರ ಮುಂದಿನ ಪೀಳಿಗೆಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಬಡತನದಲ್ಲೇ ಮುಂದುವರಿಯಂತೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ economic inequalities or unequal distribution of wealth. Here, wealth is not equally distributed among the people. ಸಂಪತ್ತಿನ ಅಸಮಾನ ಹಂಚಿಕೆ. Only few people in the country are having most of the income of the country. Means ದೇಶದ ಕೆಲವೇ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಸಂಪತ್ತು ಶೇಖರಣೆ ಆಗಿರುವುದು ಕಂಡುಬರುತ್ತದೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸಂಪತ್ತಿನ ಕೇಂದ್ರೀಕರಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇದರಿಂದಾಗಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಬಹುಸಂಖ್ಯೆಯ ಜನರು ಬಡವರಾಗಿದ್ದು ಓನ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಯೂ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್, ಕೆಲವೇ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಸಂಪತ್ತು ಶೇಖರಣೆ ಆಗಿರುವುದು ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡುಬರುತ್ತದೆ. ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಬಡತನಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಕಾರಣವಾಗಿದೆ. These are the main causes of poverty. And why poverty is increasing day by day? ಯಾಕೆ ಬಡತನ ಅನ್ನೋದು ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ದಿನದಿಂದ ದಿನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿದೆ? ಕಾರಣ ಏನಂತಂದರೆ, ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು ಭಾರತವನ್ನು ಆಳ್ತಿರುವಂಥ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ 70%ಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಜನಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಕೃಷಿಯನ್ನೇ ಅವಲಂಬಿಸಿತ್ತು. ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ ನೇರ ಆಡಳಿತದ ಪರಿಣಾಮ ಇವರ ಮೇಲಾಯಿತು. ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು ವಿಧಿಸುತ್ತಿರುವಂಥ ತೆರಿಗೆ, ಅದರ ಪರಿಣಾಮ ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಕೃಷಿಕರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬೀಳುತ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಅದರಿಂದಾಗಿ ಕೃಷಿಕರು ಅಥವಾ ಸಣ್ಣ ಕೃಷಿಕರು ಜೀವನ ಪರ್ಯಂತ ಬಡವರಾಗಿ ಮುಂದುವರಿಯುವಂತಾಯಿತು. ಹಾಗೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರಿ ನೀತಿ, ಕೈಗಾರಿಕಾ ನೀತಿಗಳು ಭಾರತದ ಸಣ್ಣ ಕೈಗಾರಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ನಾಶಗೊಳಿಸುವಂತೆ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಇದರಿಂದಾಗಿ ಅನೇಕ ಬಡವರು, ಅನೇಕ ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕರು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಕಳೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಜೀವನೋಪಾಯಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವಂತಾಯಿತು. ಇದರಿಂದ ಅವರ ಆದಾಯ ಕೂಡ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿ ಅವರ ಮುಂದಿನ ಪೀಳಿಗೆ ಬಡತನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳೆಯುವಂತಾಯಿತು. ಹಾಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ನಿರುದ್ಯೋಗ, ಋಣಭಾರ, ಏರುತ್ತಿರುವಂಥ ಜನಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಏರುತ್ತಿರುವಂಥ ಅವಶ್ಯ ವಸ್ತುಗಳ ಬೆಲೆಗಳು, ಇವುಗಳಿಂದ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಜನರಿಗೆ ಬಡತನ ಶಾಶ್ವತ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಾಯಿತು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಪಾಲಿಸೀಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಪಾವರ್ಟಿ ಎಲಿವೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್. Poverty alleviation programs, policies and programs towards poverty alleviation. Indian Constitution and 5-year plans states social justice as a primary objective of the developmental strategies. So, the first 5-year plan sets its target to bring social and economic change in the society. Social and economic change in the sense change in the level of income, change in the status of poverty, to provide equal opportunities for all the people in the country. So, the government approach poverty reduction programs 3 dimensions. What are those 3 dimensions? First one is growth-oriented approach. And second one is income and employment generation. Providing minimum basic needs to the people. Here, poverty alleviation programs of the government has 3 dimensions. First one is growth-oriented approach. Second one is income and employment generation approach. And third one is providing minimum basic needs to the main objective of the planning commission was growth-oriented approach during 1950 to 1960, which is based on the economic growth, which increased the gross domestic product and per capita income to reduce the poverty. In the agricultural sector, these strategies help to achieve green revolution, and in industrial sectors, it helped to increase the productivity of small-scale industries and as well as large-scale industries. It helped to bring new technologies in the industrial sectors. By this way, it helped to increase the income of the country as well as per capita income. And in second approach, income and employment generation approach, in that this approach has been initiated with the third 5-year plan. How it has been initiated? The income and employment of the poor people could be increased through the creation of job opportunities and additional assets by work generation programs. What are those work generation programs? Mainly self-employment programs. For example, SGSY, Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana. We are calling it as SGSY. We are calling it as SGSY, Swarna Jayanti Swarojgar Yojana, which implemented through self-help groups. What are self-help groups? The people with similar interest coming together to help each other are called as self-help groups. They helping each other. Through these self-help groups, government started providing financial assurance for self-employment. Another one was SJSRY. What is this SJSRY? Swarna Jayanti Shahri Rozgar Yojana. And also PMRY, Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana, PMRY. These two programs together, SJSRY and PMRY, provided financial assistance in the form of bank loans. Why it is providing financial assistance? To set up small industries. And if you want to know about further programs, there are wage employment programs such as National Food for Work Program, NFWP, National Food for Work Program, Sampurna Gramina Rozgar Yojana, SGRY, and recently MG Narega. You might have heard about MG Narega, Mahatma Gandhi Rural Employment Guarantee Program, MG Narega like that we are calling. It provides guaranteed employment of 100 days to every household whose adult member of the family. All these are income and employment generation programs. All these income and employment programs you need to remember: PMRY, SGSY, SJSRY and MG Narega. All these full forms can be asked in the exams for 1 mark. So you need to remember all the abbreviations of these programs. Next one is providing minimum basic needs to the poor people. The people who are unable to access for the minimum basic needs for them, directly government can provide certain basic amenities. For example, from public distribution systems, government is providing food grains, sugar, kerosene, oil with the subsidized prices. Those who are having BPL cards, they can get these food grains in the fair price shops. ನ್ಯಾಯ ಬೆಲೆ ಅಂಗಡಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿರ್ತವೆ. ಯಾರು ಬಡತನ ರೇಖೆಗಿಂತ ಕೆಳಗಿರುವಂಥವರು BPL ಕಾರ್ಡು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಡನ್ನು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಲಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದರ ಮೂಲಕ ಅವರು ಈ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಬೆಲೆ ಅಂಗಡಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಬೆಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆಹಾರ ಧಾನ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ಪಡೆಯಬಹುದಾಗಿದೆ. Expenditure of the government on social consumption needs like provision of food grains with a subsidized rate, education, health, safe drinking water and sanitation to improve the standard of life of the people. Programs under this approach are PDS, Public Distribution System. We are calling it as PDS, Public Distribution System. By this public distribution system, government is distributing food grains and other basic items to lead their lives will be distributed through the public distribution system. And ICDs, Integrated Child Development Programs, ICDS, Integrated Child Development Scheme, and Midday Meal Scheme. With these three programs, government directly providing food grains to the poor people. And some of the programs that aims to provide Basic infrastructure in rural areas are Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana and Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana. Under these programs, government is having aim to develop basic infrastructure. Basically, roads are very much necessary. To improve the basic infrastructure in the rural areas, government has initiated with these programs. Programs like Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Indira Awas Yojana, Valmiki Ambedkar Awas Yojana, Basava Vasati Yojana in Karnataka. All these three programs introduced to provide shelter to the poor people. After providing food, shelter and basic infrastructures, government has taken certain social security measures for the poor people. What are those social security measures? In that, mainly social assistance program. This program initiated with the central government of India to give pension for elderly people who do not have anyone to take care. And next one, Sandhya Suraksha Yojana, Aam Aadmi Bima Yojana. These programs providing insurance facilities for the people. One more, Yashaswini Yojana. It's providing health insurance for the rural people of Karnataka. And Bhagyalakshmi Yojana. Under this Bhagyalakshmi Yojana, it provides financial support to the female child which born in poor family. By all these three major poverty alleviation programs, government has many programs for the alleviation of poverty. Finally, a critical assessment of poverty alleviation programs. After the implementation of all these poverty alleviation programs, how the country was successful in the poverty alleviations and how it is helpful to reduce the poverty and also its critics. ಬಡತನ ನಿರ್ಮೂಲನಾ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳ ಒಂದು ಮೌಲ್ಯಮಾಪನ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ನಂತರದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯೋಜನೆಗಳು ಬಡತನವನ್ನು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡುವಲ್ಲಿ ಫಲ ನೀಡಿವೆ. ಆದರೆ ಇಂದಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಬಡತನವನ್ನು ನಿವಾರಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆಯ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಡ ಜನತೆ ಸಕ್ರಿಯವಾಗಿ ಪಾಲ್ಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಬಡತನ ನಿರ್ಮೂಲನೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಮೆನಿ ಪುವರ್ ಪೀಪಲ್, ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಬಡ ಜನರು ಅನೇಕ ರೀತಿಯ ಮೂಢನಂಬಿಕೆಗಳಿಂದಾಗಿ ಅವರು ಸಮಾಜದ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಹಿನಿಗೆ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ ಅಥವಾ ಅವರ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಆಚಾರ ವಿಚಾರಗಳು ಅಡೆತಡೆಯನ್ನು ಉಂಟು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಒಂದು ಯೋಜನೆಗಳು ಎಷ್ಟರ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸಾಫಲ್ಯವನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿವೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡೋದಾದರೆ, ವಿತ್ ದ ವೇರಿಯಸ್ ಪಾವರ್ಟಿ ಎಲಿವೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್, ಹಂಗರ್, malnutrition, literacy, lack of basic amenities continued many parts in the country. Only these programs are having limited successfulness. Only some part of the country is getting these benefits and these programs are successful. In some areas, we are finding problems in implementation of these programs. What are the reasons behind the problems in implementation of these programs? Mainly, unequal distribution of land and the other assets. Only few individuals are having large part of the land and other people are the owners of small piece of land. So, they cannot be able to implement the new technologies in agriculture. And another problem is some non-poors also getting the opportunities given to the poor people. The benefits which is given to the poor people is taken by the non-poor people, and also insufficient resources were provided by these programs. The government officials and bank officials are responsible for the implementation of these programs. Here, what is happening? The resource which is provided by the government was not reaching to the poor people. Because of the corruption, insufficient use of the resource in the areas, and also we can find the wastage of resources. Because of all these reasons, the programs which is implemented by the government is unsuccessful in few areas. When the poor people started contributing to the growth progress through their participation and employment, then only poverty can be eradicated. Otherwise, it's very difficult to remove the poverty in the population. Since independence, the policies and programs of the government aim to promote the rapid and balanced economic growth with equality and social justice. But for every government, poverty elimination has always been accepted as main challenge. By implementing various programs, governments are trying to eradicate the poverty. So, some extent we're moving towards the success. But our progress compared to other countries, our performance is not impressive. Somehow, India is trying to come out of this vicious circle. This all about the chapter poverty. Your chapter notes will be sent to the WhatsApp groups. Thank you.